Tony, I really wanted to ask you if you caught any like parallels between this and Hereditary.
You're not the first person to ask me this today. Um, Look, I think I do gravitate towards themes about generational trauma, people trying to break those cycles and not quite doing it successfully. So, and also in both of those stories, I'm playing a mother who appears to be quite cold and mean, and actually they're really trying to keep their child safe. Maybe there are similarities.
Yeah, I mean, there was that moment where you tell Bella, like, I hated looking at you because you remind me of your father. And I was like, it reminded me of when you told Alex in Hereditary, I didn't want you. Like, it was very.
There are lots of moments of pushing away, and it's about saving, but it's misconstrued.
Well, and Bella, I was curious what, drew you to this role.
I just read the script and it was so good. It's so funny. It was like it was a no-brainer. Like I couldn't put it down. And then I read the book and I couldn't put it down before I had access to more of the scripts than just the pilot. And yeah, I would have played a much lesser role if it had been available. Because I love the script that much. But the thing about Andy that I loved was that I feel like both the women had such a grounded, realistic arc given what had happened to each of them in the present and the past, and I just really love watching those characters' journeys, and getting to play one of them was just an absolute delight.
Well, and I think a lot of people in the younger generation who moved home during the pandemic and like are figuring out their life are going to relate to Andy in that sense. I was curious if you, Bella, felt that in any regard.
I think the thing I related to the most with Andy was that sense of feeling slightly aimless, having really low self-esteem, and then just finding evidence in her life, and probably creating scenarios in her life to back up that idea about herself as kind of less than. And I suppose what I love so much about the story was that throughout the season, all these challenges that are thrown her way, as she kind of overcomes each of them, she develops a real sense of self and really matures, and their relationship changes, their dynamic changes.
And Tony, I also clocked another reference.
I felt like I was watching TV then. I was just watching you guys talk and suddenly I'm involved. What? Sorry, can you, what, yes?
No, I mean, I've watched a lot of your movies, and I remember you're at getting chemo and you say, "Where's Little Miss Sunshine?" Did you notice that at all, or no?
I say, what did I say?
You said, "Where is Little Miss Sunshine?"
In Pieces of Her?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember that. I would have noted it at the time. Do you remember that, Bells?
Oh, it's awful. And then they're like, oh, she's
oh yes, that moment. Yes. Sorry. I was thinking of I don't know, I was thinking of when you were bathing me at home after I come home from the hospital. Yeah, no. Yes, I mean, anytime that term is used, I can't help but think of that amazing experience of making that movie. Yeah.
I just felt like there were so many parallels. But yeah, did you guys also just enjoy this because it was like a sense of escapism? Like whoever.
No, it was really hard.
I was like, we weren't escaping, we were in it.
It was bloody hard work. I wouldn't say it was a fun shoot. I mean, we laughed because there has to be some levity in any given scenario in life, surely. But it was bloody hard work, and every scene we did felt more intense than I ever anticipated. And I actually love that when you read something and then you get on set and it takes on its own energy and becomes its own very real thing. But this time I was just like, oh, it's really, I was so exhausted by the end of it. It's a very intense piece about personal freedom and about facing the truth. And these are really deep themes, I think most people avoid themselves because it's hard work to have to face all that stuff. And this is the moment in these people's lives where they're really looking at who they really, really are in a real way, so it's heavy. Not fun.
Yeah, someone asked me the other day, like, what were your favorite scenes to shoot? And I was like, well, I mean, I loved the job. I loved all our scenes, but it wasn't like we had a scene together. It was like, oh, cool, this will be a fun day at work. It's like, oh, this is going to be really harrowing. Like, all the flashback stuff, all of it was so gnarly. I was like, probably the scenes with Amari, maybe that one scene where I got to flirt with Jacob, you know, before it all went pear-shaped again. Yeah.
Well, I think everybody, I mean, maybe I'm the only person who imagines what would happen if I was like, had to go into witness like protection, like that whole aspect to me was interesting, but I guess not.
It is interesting, absolutely, yeah. But a lot of it is very extreme and nothing that we've experienced. And trying, you know, I guess our challenge was, and Minky was so good at doing this, just keeping everything so grounded and so real and as honest as possible, because the circumstances are so heightened. It really is a thrilling story. There are so many twists and turns and everything's at stake all the time. And not in a cheesy way either. Like, it's incredibly well written and considered and artfully told. But yeah, I can't imagine living like that. I mean, what I really loved about it is that, and I think I really do gravitate towards stories about trauma, about people trying to escape their families. I've always done it. I just have. And I think my character thinks she's saving her daughter, but actually she's repeating the pattern of what her father did to her. She's completely manipulating her daughter and controlling everything and lying to her, just in a different way with a different intention. She's actually making the same mistake. So actually, it's going to be Andy maybe who breaks the cycle here. It's not Laura at all. She hasn't done it. If it's anyone, I mean, your character's slowly chipping away at the reality of things throughout the whole story. And if anyone's going to do it now, maybe they'll do it together. But you can't do that in a facade, you know?
Well, and Bella, I was curious, like, would you want to continue on with this like project? Could we see a season 2?
Oh, dear God, please. Yes, I'd love to. Spread the word. Season 2. Apparently Karen's written a sequel already, so got it teed up, guys. Let's go.
Yeah, she's funny. I mean, the opportunity is definitely built into the end of the show. It feels very much like it could go on, but we'll see. Who knows? You just don't know. You really don't know anything, let's face it. 2022, the year of surrender, and 2020 and 2021. I think it's called life. Just got to let go, go with the flow.